Hey everyone. If you live long enough, life will humble you. Usually when you think you've got it all figured out. Um, this is something I can speak on. I went probably, I don't know, 10 years ago. I thought I had it all figured out. Everything was going good. I was in the best shape of my life. And maybe 15 years ago. And I was doing karate with my son, working out, long black hair, the earrings, the tattoos, the attitude, the whole thing. And, like the song goes, I had the world on a string and then I lost everything. And that's how I wound up here, Midland song. Yeah, it really, I was doing everything wrong. Thought I was all that, thought that it mattered. And I thought that, there was no losing. There's no way it was only going to get better and better. And I could just keep hurting people and being a smart ass. And, I was doing everything, I had everything going on. I was doing kickboxing. I was very fit. I had it all going on, all kinds of friends that, I thought were my friends and people admired me. And it was crazy. I had said that, God was telling me to stop. And I just wouldn't listen, and that one day came up and just boom, punched me right in the face, man. I felt like God just backhanded me, knocked me right out of my socks. Lost everything. I did a lot of things that were just not right, things that were stupid, immoral, and it cost me everything. It cost me my children, cost me my grandchildren, my friends, my wife, and I went through very difficult times. Thank God she decided to stay with me and help me on my journey. And life really does humble you, and then the surgeries, and you realize that, there's just, life has a way of putting you in your place. You can't go on being a dumbass and not pay for it. And I see it a lot today too. Being 60 years old, I see it a lot. I have a lot of friends. There's a lot of people that I know that are my age and still don't learn a lesson. They still don't get it. They still think they're badasses. They still think they're going to kick somebody's butt. They still think they're going to go out there and do whatever they want to do. And it's like, at what point do you find that humility, and find that you need to start putting things into perspective. Everything you do is going to come back and bite you in the butt one way or the other. There's just so many things that I've done that I look back on and I think, if I wouldn't have done them, things would probably be a lot better now at 60 years old than I was. I was stubborn, thick-headed. My father died. We were not on speaking terms, and now I have to carry that for the rest of my life. I never got to tell him, how I feel, and whether it's good or bad. I think even if you could tell somebody, look, I hate your guts, and it's I never want to talk to you again. At least that's closure, right? You get some kind of closure. I never had that. I never got to do that. So, that's something. Life is very, very, very humbling, So think about that when you're doing things. The moment you think you know everything, life usually teaches you something. So stay humble, keep learning. Take care.